For this video, I've moved the camera closer because I'm sick and I don't want to strain my voice. In June of this year, I started working at a cafe that served fresh food made every morning. At night, the food that wasn't eaten was thrown away. At the end of my first shift, when it came time for me to throw out the salads, sandwiches, and pastries, more than I could eat on my own before they would spoil, I had physical difficulty throwing away that much food. So instead, I put it in a bag and started what would become a daily ritual for the rest of the summer, walking home and giving the food out to homeless that I saw on the street. This was incredibly rewarding, but I was troubled that a business with almost 20 locations in the city didn't have a system in place to reduce this much wasted food. It's a systematic problem in America, and solving it is very important to me. For that reason, I'd like to share 3 reasons why supporting food donation and reducing food waste are necessary and worthy goals. First of all, and perhaps most important, the food is already there. According to a 2013 report from nyc.gov, New York City generates over 1 million tons of food waste each year. That's 2 billion pounds. This may seem hard to believe, but when I worked at a supermarket in Union Square, one of my duties was packaging excess food that wouldn't be sold in a timely manner for a donation to local food banks. A truck would come by every single hour, and the result was hundreds upon hundreds of pounds of food donated every single day. When you consider the number of restaurants and supermarkets and open-air fish and farmers markets in a city of this size, those hundreds of pounds, multiplied hundreds of times over, begin to take shape. What does 2 billion pounds look like in human terms? Consider this equation. An essay by Lori Nguyen on the subject of emergency ration storage suggests that a person can survive on 500 pounds of food each year. This isn't considered a bountiful amount of food, but enough to keep you alive day to day. Plug those numbers into each other. 2 billion pounds of food each year, divided by 500 pounds of food per person. The answer is 4 million people. New York City generates enough food waste to feed 4 million people each year. For the record, that's about half the city's population. Now, when we think about food donation, the benefits are often viewed on a micro level, the individual people who are being fed. But another important reason to support this cause is that donation also benefits the community as a whole. The immediate benefits are a reduction in hunger, which improves the mental and physical health of the community and reduces instances of desperation. After all, a person who isn't struggling to put food on the table is less likely to steal in order to survive. But there are other benefits to the community, such as the economic benefits of reducing spending by cutting back on production and labor costs for the amount of food that statistically will never be eaten. Reducing food waste also has a positive effect on the environment. In addition to the added pollution of transporting excess food to and from retailers and the water waste created by washing food containers, large amounts of produce left in landfills are a major contributor to the greenhouse effect due to the release of methane gas, which has 21 times the warming potential of carbon dioxide. According to studies by the Environmental Protection Agency and the National Resource Defense Council, emissions from landfills are one of the biggest contributors to climate change going on today. So, now that I've outlined the humanitarian, economic, and environmental benefits of food donation programs, all of it may seem very overwhelming. But one of the best reasons to participate is because it's something anyone can do. There are many ways to be part of the solution to food waste. First, there are no shortage of charities working to feed the hungry. A quick Google search will provide you with a long list of organizations in New York City and abroad. Second, there are multiple ways you can help. You can, of course, donate money or volunteer your time, but if you aren't able to spare either, you can help raise awareness by encouraging the restaurants and supermarkets you visit to participate in food donation and waste reduction programs, and by supporting businesses that already do. You can also participate by taking unfinished meals home with you and giving them away to homeless people you see on the street, and by utilizing effective portion control when shopping and food storage when preparing your meals. You can reduce the amount of food that goes uneaten in your own home. Many charities seek ideals, and this is a good thing. It's a worthy endeavor to have an ideal, to seek to be better in ways that we can't yet imagine. But we cannot grow as a culture, as a civilization, and accomplish the challenges of tomorrow if we ignore what is solvable today. One day, hunger will be a thing of the past, and whether or not it is replaced by some future horror is beyond our control. But today, the solution to minimizing food waste is already sitting right in front of us. That is why I ask you to consider this cause, because it is not beyond our control, and more to the point, there are no good reasons to avoid it. What argument can be made against reducing hunger, saving money, and cutting back on pollution? There's no benefactor here, other than the illusion of our own comfort. I ask you to consider this the next time you buy something to eat. Ask yourself, what is it really costing us? And how little would it cost us to fix? Thank you.